explosion took place at a fireworks storage area in Kasaragod during a temple festival, leaving more than 150 people injured. The incident took place at around 12:30 a.m. during the annual festival, and 97 people have been admitted to various hospitals. We spoke to the SP of Kasaragod, and she mentioned that the fireworks had been stored very close to where the fireworks display had been kept, and that's what led to the blast. There were about 200 to 300 people who participated in the festivities, and in the latest update, over 150 people have been injured. They've been taken to hospitals. The blast took place because the fireworks had been stored very close to where the fireworks were taking place. The temple festivals were taking place, and over 150 people have been injured in this blast. Now, ambulances had also been deployed to the spot. In fact, we have more breaking updates also now coming in the explosion during the festivities in Kerala. The temple authorities have now been booked after 150 devotees were injured in this blast. The authorities have been booked for violating the norms. Like we mentioned just a few moments ago, we spoke to the SP of Kasaragod as well, who spoke about several violations. The fact that there had to be a distance between where the fireworks had to be stored and where the fireworks display was, a violation there. My colleague Jayalakshmi is in fact joining us on the phone line with the details. Jayalakshmi, over 150 people injured in the festivities. We are told the fireworks storage was very close to where the fireworks display was. What are the details? The authorities have now been booked for violating norms.
Yes, exactly. After speaking to the SP, Shilpa, she had confirmed that a case has been registered against the president and the secretary of the temple, and in fact, the norms were violated is what the police confirms, and she said that the distance, it's usually there should be a few hundred meters between the firecrackers, the storage room and the festive temple premises, but here there was nearly 2 to 3 feet of distance, and even in the visuals we can see people were standing right behind the explosion where it has taken place. So the appropriate distance was not maintained from the place where the firecrackers were supposed to be stored and the place where the fire detonated. So these two spaces are very little bit of distance between them, due to which people had to suffer injuries. But thankfully, there has been no casualties. But one person is in critical condition, is what we understand at this moment. But thankfully, there has been no casualties reported yet. But definitely, the case has been registered against the temple authorities for violating the temple norms and for not following the rules and regulations. This happened at 12:30 a.m. in the night, and the Teyyam festival, that is a very popular traditional festival that happens in the northern side of Kerala, that was happening as part of the annual temple festivities in the temple, and that is when from the sparks of the torch lights that usually is sold in these temples and during the temple festivities, that's what ignited the fire, is what we understand at this moment.
Okay, all right. So permissions had to be taken. That was not done. Preliminary investigations also revealing that the firecracker detonation area as well as the storage room were only about 2 to 3 feet apart, whereas the regulations require a minimum of 100 meters distance between the storage and firecracker ignition points. So the SP also speaking to us spoke about the violations in the case. Jayalakshmi, you mentioned over 150 people have been injured. Some of them also said to be in a critical condition. What is the situation on the ground as the investigations are going on? Have the police officials cordoned off the area? Where are the investigations at?
Yes, the investigation at this moment is that after the preliminary investigation, after the case has been registered, but now currently the area is under inspection. They are trying to find out any more details regarding, the license, whether the firecrackers shops have the appropriate license to be, operated. That is something that the police is again looking into. The police has not confirmed what information they have regarding that, but they did tell us that they are investigating the entire case and they're trying to get to know more official details as to the permissions that were taken or not before the event had started.
Okay, Jayalakshmi, before I let you go, any word on how many devotees had come for the festivities and what were the kind of arrangements that had been put in place?
At this, what we understand is that there was at least 300 people, 200 to 300 people who were present in that entire, the whole festival. But at that moment, near that area, you could see only around 200 people at that area where the fire explosion had taken place. And out of which 150 people are currently in hospital undergoing treatment, but definitely a very crowded area. We can see that as well. And less than 10 people in very critical condition in the hospital.
Okay, all right. Jayalakshmi, thank you for joining us with those details. So that's the latest update. We had also spoken to the Kasaragod SP, Shilpa Devaya, who spoke about the investigations and what the preliminary investigations have revealed. Listen in. We have Shilpa Devaya, the District Superintendent of Police, joining us on the phone line. Thank you for joining us. Ma'am, if you can give us the details of what exactly happened, any details on what led to this blast?
So last night, where the temple where the festival was going on, they had stored the crackers very close to the place where they were bursting the crackers. The minimum distance that is supposed to be kept was not kept, and people were standing very close to the place where crackers were being burst. So without taking any safety concerns, safety measures, crackers were burst. So flames from the crackers have gone and hit the room where the crackers were stored, and a blast has happened and people have gotten injured. 154 people till now have reported that they have been injured, out of which 97 are admitted in hospital right now.
Okay, and was there security in the area? Because you also mentioned that there had been violations, and we can see in the crowd there are a lot of people who had gathered there. Any number of people who had gathered there, or any violation that had taken place here? Any information on that, ma'am?
Like I said, people were standing very close to the place where crackers were being burst. Okay. And no fire force vehicle or ambulance, nothing, no provisions were made for all that. No arrangements were made for that. Only when the incident has happened, police has immediately informed fire force, and they have reached in time and doused the fire, which has ensured that no deaths happened in the location. So immediately people were shifted to hospitals, ambulances were mobilized, and people were shifted to hospital, and medical attention was given in time.
Okay, all right. So over 150 people have been injured in this, and were there adequate measures taken in place? Ambulances, had they been on standby in the area? Because as a visual show, there were over 200 to 300 people who were there for the festivities, isn't it?
Yes, around 200 to 300 people were there, but no arrangement for ambulance or anything was made by the temple authorities. When the incident has happened, immediately then police has informed all the ambulances, and that is when ambulances were rushed to the location.
So several violations, and that has unfortunately led to over 150 people being injured.